Hey everybody, it's me, Jill, and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 12, Episode 3, A Very Jersey Kegger. Well, Episode 3 is when we first get the taglines, so let's just get these out of the way. First, we start with Melissa. Some people are born great, and some people are born Jersey. So not great? That's got to be one of the worst. Side note, who is the woman standing next to Joe Gorga in the background? Good God. Antonia looks like she's 28. Okay, next is Dolores. I don't start the drama, but I will stop the show. Margaret, I say when you have nothing to hide, there's nothing to lose. That's referring to Jennifer, I guess. Jackie, you don't have to pay me a compliment, but you do have to pay me respect. Jennifer, my nose may be new, but I can still smell a rat. That one's dumb, but probably my favorite so far. And last and worst, Teresa. I have a new king, but I'm still the queen of New Jersey. Okay. Episode 3 opens at Dolores' rental townhouse, and she's with her children. They're having dinner, and they're complaining about Frank dragging his feet, not finishing the house. I guess for Gabby, there's like only a makeshift faucet, and she said it's only cold water. I mean, it's so weird to me that Dolores has moved herself into a luxury townhouse and is leaving her children in her house that only has cold water. Isn't that weird? Oh, never mind. She is having the kids move in with her, I think. Wait, no, I don't know. I'm confused because she said I wanted to have the kids not have to pay rent while they're starting their careers, but maybe she's talking about her house that's being renovated. Yeah. Because in the last episode, didn't she say that her townhouse was like the first time she's living alone? Right? Side note, I'm slightly annoyed by Gabby calling her parents Dolores and Frank. Like, it's weirdly juvenile for someone her age. Like, she's already a veterinarian, right? So she's not a teenager. I just think it's strange, and she's making such a point of it that every time she starts a sentence, it's like, Frank this, Frank that. Is it just me? I don't know. It was weird. It's not that cute. Yeah, I'm just going to admit that I'm totally lost here about who's living where and what the living situation is, because now they're talking about how Frank is moving back into the house with the kids. And Gabby wants to set ground rules for Frank, that he can't bring women home, stuff like that. So they're going to have a family meeting. Oh my God. Okay, next we are at like a boutique or something, and Gia is having a photo shoot. So you guys remember Gia's poignant smash hit, Waking Up in the Morning, that she wrote and performed in 2011?
Waking up in the morning, thinking about so many things. I just wish things would get better.
Waking up in the morning. Well, if you remember, it went viral last year because some rapper and Will Smith like picked it up and sampled part of it or something into their song. I don't know. Whatever. It went viral. And never one to miss an opportunity. She has now created a t-shirt line that's with the lyrics from her hit single. Oh, God. And apparently all these boutiques are carrying it and it's sold out everywhere, which, I mean, you know, doesn't surprise me. All right, so we learned that Louis has sent out a group text to everyone inviting them over for like a pizza night. And he wants Teresa and her girls and Joe and Melissa and their kids to get together because he's trying to repair the family. He's a giver. Melania, who is also very mad at Joe, does not want to go. She says she's not going. And Gia and Teresa are trying to tell her, yeah, you have to. But Melania says she's hurt, and seeing him scream at her mother last season about Joe Giudice was hard for her to watch. And I get that. I do. I said it before. It's a sticky situation because as disgusting as he is, he's their dad. And they love him. I get it. It hurts to see that on TV. But, also he's disgusting. And I totally understood Joe Gorga's frustration. At the time he went off on her about that, Teresa was acting like Joe's such a great guy and doing great things, and she's investing money in his newfangled invention, the dildo. I think it was just like all a little much for Joe Gorga. Next, we have a husband's dinner with Joe Benigno, Joe Gorga, and Frank Catania. They're talking about Dolores. He's like, yeah, he's in trouble with the kids and stuff because the house isn't finished yet and everything. And he's like, Dolores, there's no reason I cheated on Dolores. She's great. She was the perfect wife. And Joe B's like, yeah, if anything would ever happen to Margaret, I'm marrying Dolores. He loves her. Frank tells the guys that Dolores called a family meeting. And Joe Gorga's like, why is she renting this townhouse and not staying with David? And Frank's like, I don't know. He said Dolores doesn't tell him anything. David doesn't tell him anything. Remember, he and David are pretty tight. But he's not sure. He thinks that there's trouble in paradise. Now the guys are talking about Bill. Oh, poor Bill. He got found out about his cheating. Yeah, so, the guys called him to see how he was doing. They feel bad for him, poor guy. Frank's like, I don't think he's okay. He hasn't been out of his coffin all night. Then Joe asks Joe B, have you called him? And Joe B's like, no. I mean, it was his wife that called him out, so I don't think it would be a good idea. And number two, how do you think Margaret would feel if her husband called Bill to console him and, ask him how he's doing? It was a dumb question, and of course he didn't call him. And Joe B's like, listen, I think Bill's a great guy, but his wife went too far. She called Marge a slut. She called Joe Gorga a crook. Then Joe Gorga tells them about, the thing that he and Gia got into, and that Louis texted everyone to come over for a pizza night. God, now they're toasting to Louis being great to Frankie Jr. because, Frankie Jr.'s working for Louis. And Joe's like, and to my sister. Yeah, cheers. The first toast was to Bill being a great guy. Why do I feel like these toasts aren't going to age well? Like neither of them. Then they talk about Louis' naked video. Yeah. Frank then suggests that the three of them go into the woods, get naked, and beat the f*** out of each other. Joe B's like, no, I'm not doing that. Next, we are on a little date with Jackie and Evan. All the kids are at sleepaway camp, and they've got time to themselves. This was weird. Evan, when the waiter came, he asked the guy about how's the crab, and he said, oh, it's delicious. And then he said to Jackie, will you have a little if I order it? And she said, it's early. It's 5 o'clock. So no? It's not too early to drink, but it's too early to eat? What is she, intermittent fasting? What's happening? Anyway, they start talking about life before the kids came along and how they met and college life. I guess they met at a dirty beer bar and Jackie showed him her bra. Evan remembers that. So Jackie says that she isn't sure that many people in their group went away to college or went to college at all, I'm assuming. So she wants to plan a frat party for everybody with kegs of beer and an ice luge. Although, is that a college frat thing? An ice luge? That seems so bougie. Anyway, Jackie does open up about her eating disorder. I guess it's kind of creeping back into her life after last year, which was so stressful for her. And the cheating rumors about Evan doing stuff, like at the gym. Anyway, I guess because of it, she lost some weight, and that she said, the reason I wanted to go out early tonight is so I wouldn't have to eat. She's like, my eating is so ritualized. I guess she eats the same thing all the time. And Evan said, yeah, our kids notice it, by the way. And she goes, no, they don't. And he goes, yeah, they have. Okay, this is really sad because Jackie starts to cry and she thought she was hiding it well enough. And she said, the idea that the kids would be influenced by me and how, my relationship with food is very upsetting to her. She says she's so scared of food and gaining weight, but she's hungry all the time. And, oh, God, it kills me. Evan would like her to go see someone, and then she ends up saying yes, that she's ready. She's going to go see a therapist. Next, we are at Jackie's house. She calls Jennifer on the phone, and she invites her to this keg party that she's going to have, this frat party. But before that, they're talking a little bit, and she asks her, how have you been doing since Dolores's party? We get a flashback to Dolores's monotone, "Don't cry, because you don't have to." And Jennifer's screaming, "You think I'm weak? 'Cause I cry. I'm not weak. I'm strong." And Jackie tells Jennifer that she doesn't think Dolores is the kind of friend she needs right now, because Jackie cried all last season and she doesn't think it was weak. Anyway, like I said, she invites her to the keg party and she's like, it's going to be small, but I am inviting all the ladies and Tracy. Tracy is being groomed for a full-time housewife, I'm sure of it, but she's really, I don't know, she's going to have to step up her game or have game at all, because she's barely said 2 words. Anyway, so all the ladies are invited except Teresa is not going to go because Adriana has a dance thing that she has to take her to. So Jennifer's like, I'm not crazy about walking into the lion's den without her backup, Teresa. So she tells her that if Bill doesn't want to go, that she's not going to go either. That's the only way she's going to go is if he goes. So now we're at Louis's house, and he and his brother David are prepping everything for the pizzas. It's like do it yourself, make your own pizzas. And Teresa and Gabriella arrive first. In Teresa's confessional, she said, "Louis not afraid of his feelings. He journals every day. He does positive affirmations. He gets naked with his friends. Yeah, he doesn't hold anything back." Gia and Melania arrive next, and then all the Gorgas. So, the cousins are hugging each other and stuff. It's sad because, they're very close. Those 2 families are super close. Melissa asks Teresa where Adriana is, and she goes, "Oh, she's at dance. She had a dance." So nobody's there with her? I guess next week Teresa is going to Boston for a week for Adriana's dance competition. It's like nationals or something. I've actually seen some stuff that Teresa posts on Instagram of Adriana, little videos of her dancing, and she's good. She's super serious about it. Anyway, Melissa said, I'm glad you and Jackie are good now. And Teresa goes, "Yeah, but last year when I said something, I feel like everybody had her back. And this year when Margaret said something to Jennifer, I feel like no one has her back." Oh, God, Teresa. You're going to have to get over, last year, for one thing, and comparing it to the thing with Jennifer, because it's not the same. Plus, I'm sorry, I have to laugh because Jennifer attacked those women. Jackie didn't attack anybody. I'm sure that if Jackie had said the things that Jennifer did about Margaret and, Joe being a crook and all that, I'm sure they wouldn't have had Jackie's back either. So, yeah, there's a little bit of a difference between what happened last year and what's happening right now. All right, so they're having fun, made their pizzas, and now Louis is talking about this exercise that he's done. I don't know where, probably at a retreat. Was it done while he had clothes on? That's unclear at this point. But you take 2 pieces of paper. On one of them, you write all the things that you want to bring into your life. And on the other one, the things that you want to get rid of. I feel like this has been done on Housewives before. I don't want to give Louis' Naked Retreat credit for coming up with this idea, because I feel like it's been done before. In any case, can I just say, side note, Gabriella, my new favorite kid. This chick is not feeling Louis. I'm not saying she hates him. I'm just saying he is not her kind of guy, and I love her for that. A lot of exasperated expressions on her face. So anyway, Melissa said, "Do you share with everyone what you wrote?" And Teresa said, "You could, but you don't have to." And then someone said, "Yeah, we're not really very deep people." I wish I knew who it was, because that was hilarious. And Joe goes, "Yeah, let's not write about it. Let's just talk about it. Louis, you start. It's your game." It's your game. And he goes, "Okay, I want to lean into more trust in my life, away from my fears, not living in the past, like living life, failing forward, leaning forward. Side note, I love the look on Joe Gorga's face. Like he's really trying to follow right now. But Louis, how can I say this? I think that if there were a dinner party of Housewives casts from different franchises, that within about 5 minutes of that party starting, we would see Louis in the corner with Denise Richards' husband, Aaron. And the two of them would spend the entire night just talking philosophically at each other. And nobody in the area around them would know what the hell they were talking about. But I do feel like they would somehow get each other. That's what's going on here. This is not Louis' crowd right now. Nobody understands. Teresa's mouth is hanging open. I mean, Teresa doesn't understand. Louis has Teresa go next. And she goes, maybe loyalty. And Melissa goes, oh, you want to try to be loyal? And Teresa goes, no, I am loyal. And then Melania, who, Melania hasn't had her talk with Joe yet. So she says, I understand why you're all about loyalty, because so many people have broken your trust in life. Teresa, Teresa has no idea what Melania's talking about because she looks very confused, like more so than usual. And she goes, yeah. I just want love. And what was the second thing? Melissa goes, what do you want to let go of? Louis, maybe judgment? Oh, no, you did not. In Melissa's confessional, she goes, oh my God. Louis wants Teresa to admit faults. And she just starts cracking up. Teresa's like, no, I don't have that. Of course not. You don't judge anybody, do you? Anyway, then it's Melissa's turn, and she wants to lean into more family time and concentrate on that more. And right away, Teresa, who doesn't have a judgy bone in her body, says, see, you should have called us more, and we should have dinner every Sunday. And Joe goes, you shouldn't expect that. We all have busy lives, and family shouldn't hold grudges. I should be able to say whatever I want to you, and 5 minutes later, it's forgotten. Because we're family. Melania, I have a lot of things I could say right now. I'm thinking, yeah, but maybe not in front of your cousins, because I do feel like if things got ugly between Melania and Gia and Joe, younger cousins are going to be upset that they're coming after their dad, and just the way you were upset that Joe came after your dad. But actually, she doesn't go there at all. It's actually pretty sad what she says. This kid just wants stability in her life because of everything that's happened, both of her parents going to jail at different times, everything that's happened in her life so far. She kind of lives her life now like she's always waiting for the other shoe to drop. So Joe apologizes for the anger he's been holding on to, and basically they all love each other. They want to let go of the anger of the past and just kind of move forward. So big props to Louis, because the Make Your Own Pizza night was a huge success. All right, now it is time for the frat party. We're checking in with everybody as they're getting ready for the party. We check in with Tracy and Tiki. So, is she going to have a tagline soon? Because she's got confessionals. When she's home alone, there are cameras there with her and her husband. So, yeah, this is more than friend of. I've never seen the inside of the morally corrupt Faye Resnick's house. She's been a friend of for years and years. So you guys are probably ahead of me anyway. You might know that she already is a full-on housewife, but whatever. Tracy says that she doesn't approve of everything that Jennifer does, but she has been to 2 events now where this woman has left early in tears. And she knows firsthand how rumors can affect someone. We are reminded again that when she and Tiki got together, that there were a bunch of rumors swirling about him leaving his pregnant wife for her. Oh boy. So I guess Jersey's idea of a keg party is to just wear denim. Is that what's happening here? Because every woman is in jeans or like a jean jumpsuit. Okay, so the ladies are discussing Jennifer before she gets there. And Margaret is being pretty harsh, if you ask me. I don't love it, I get that the hypocrisy was getting to her. You know, every time Jennifer said something about her being a cheater and how great her own marriage is, like, you know, that would get to me, especially if I knew what Margaret knew. But, you know, you had your moment. You blew up her spot. Everybody now knows Bill cheated on her. She's given us the details of it. She's feeling raw. Can you just, like, let it go? I don't know. I always think that kicking someone when they're down just makes you look bad. Anyway, Margaret says that if Jennifer's going to come in crying again, that's it. Then I can't be friends with someone like that. Okay. Tracy defends Jennifer's crying. Margaret seems to want to know if there's a time limit for a 44-year-old to stop crying. Tracy, you can tell, is not pleased with Margaret. She does not. I don't think she's in a place where she feels like she wants to start confronting people yet, but you can just see the wheels turning in Tracy's head. Margaret's not her favorite person. Tracy wishes that Margaret would be a little bit more compassionate, and Margaret thinks that Tracy just doesn't know Jennifer well enough yet. Which is probably true. Oh, guys. Okay, Jennifer and Bill arrive. And Tiki and Bill have an awkward conversation. Was Tiki not let in on what's happening here? He said, oh, yeah, I heard there was drama last time they saw each other. And Bill goes, apparently my skeletons from the coffin or closet came out. And Tiki goes, oh, that's unfair. What? How is that unfair? You know what's unfair? That Bill took a pharmaceutical rep out to the club and got bottle service while Jennifer was growing a human being. Side note, it is somehow so much more insulting to me that he spent money on her, you know? Like if it was just this moment and he just had sex with her in the spur of the moment somewhere in the office, it would be less offensive to me than the fact that he took her out to a club, got bottle service, spent some money. Oh, that seems like a date. Like you took her on a date. Is that just me? That seems worse. So anyway, Tracy and Jackie go over to where Jennifer is and they're talking to her. And then the others decide to change the subject because they're tired of talking about the whole Jennifer thing. And Margaret changes it to asking Dolores, how's David? And Dolores said, David and I aren't together anymore. I guess it was since yesterday, she said, although probably not. She said he's crazy about me and he's crazy about the kids. And he's crazy about your ex-husband. We know that. Dolores goes, you know what got me? I knew someone who was on life support. His family made the decision to pull the plug. And his girlfriend of 15 years meant nothing. And that's me. Time out. Something else must have been going on. If this is even a real story. I mean, because I've heard this argument a million times about why you should get married so that you have legal rights and that kind of thing. And if God forbid, if someone was ever on life support, I'm not saying she's lying, but there's more to that story then. If this is true and Dolores had a friend on life support, then there's more to the story. There's a reason why this family didn't consider the feelings of his girlfriend of 15 years. Did she do something? Was she a horrible person? Are his kids horrible people? That just doesn't happen in a usual family dynamic. Most people are pretty good and considerate. I just don't think that this family would go out of their way to pull the plug without consulting his girlfriend at all. I'm not buying it. But whatever gets you there, right? That's what she told herself, and that's why she was like, I've had enough with David. So next, the boys grab Bill, and they're like, we got your back, man, and oh yeah, great. They start playing beer pong. Meanwhile, Dolores now goes over to say hello to Jennifer. And Jennifer's like, can I ask you something? Are you more friends with Margaret or me? And Dolores said, I'm friends with both of you. And Jennifer goes, okay, can I just say something? I'm just going to be upfront with you. That Jackie even said that she witnessed firsthand how you're not a good friend to me. That is not what Jackie said, but you guys, I have to tell you, the second that Jackie said, I don't think Dolores is the kind of friend you need right now on the phone, I thought to myself, uh-oh, I wonder if that's going to come back to bite you. And of course it does. Because Jennifer is not a good friend. You were trying to help Jennifer out by saying, yeah, listen, her tough love kind of thing, that's not the kind of friend you need right now. Crying is just fine. I know I cried all last year. So, I know it doesn't make you weak or whatever. Jennifer, you little pot stirrer, you. Jackie is sincerely trying to be a good friend to you. And what do you do in turn? You throw her under the bus to Dolores. I mean, what is wrong with you? Not to mention, that's not what she said. She didn't say Dolores is not a good friend. She said Dolores isn't the kind of friend you need right now. Oh, well, never mind, because Jackie just basically backed up what Jennifer said. I guess I got it wrong. Maybe I was giving Jackie too much credit. She agreed with that. Yep, you're not a good friend to her. And just as things start heating up between Dolores and Jackie, Jennifer kind of slips into the background. My work here is done. I guess if I was her, I would want the focus off of my cheating husband, but not cool. We end this episode with a very sloppy, drunk Jackie getting right up in Dolores' face, demanding respect. Hence the tagline, by the way. Because Dolores said to Jennifer, have I not been there for you? And Jennifer's like, you could be a little bit more. And she said, well, then I'll work on that. But I don't need to hear it from this, Jackie. Don't call me this. I'm not this. And then Dolores, not that I thought she was going to back down. I mean, this is Dolores Catania, gets an inch from Jackie's face and said, what are you fucking going to do about it? To be continued. Yet again. Oh my God, you guys. Yeah, well, there are a couple people that I would never butt up against in this group. Dolores is one of them, and Margaret is the other. I think those women will eviscerate you the first chance they get. And I don't want any part of that. So buckle up, Jackie. I don't know. We'll see what happens next week. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you liked this recap, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more recaps just like this one, please subscribe to my channel, Jill Informed. And I will be back next time with the next recap of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. See you later. Bye.